Gander and Riegras, the restaurant where the geeks feast. If you're a foodie who loves to feel like you're a fancy pants, then Gander and Riegras is your Disneyland. It's got all the trappings of a fine dining establishment, the dimly lit ambience, the impossibly stylish waiters, and the menu that's like a physics textbook. But don't be intimidated, my hungry friends. Gander and Riegras is actually a lot more fun than it looks. The staff is hilariously self-aware, and they're not afraid to poke fun at themselves or the pretentious food world. Take the bread, for example. It's just toasted slices of bread, but they've named it Bread by Erica as if it's some kind of sacred relic. Or the ricotta and bread option, which is just more toasted slices of bread with some ricotta smeared on the side. It's like they're saying, hey, we know this is stupid, but it's delicious, so just roll with it. The food is really good, especially the pasta. The tagliatelle with wild mushrooms is so rich and flavorful, it'll make you want to slap your grandma. And the steelhead is cooked to perfection, with a crispy skin and a delicate flavor that's perfect for impressing your boss. But be warned, Gander and Riegras is not cheap. You're going to drop some serious dough, but it's worth it for the experience. It's like going to a comedy show and a fine dining restaurant at the same time. So if you're looking for a good laugh and a great meal, then Gander and Riegras is the place for you. Just be sure to bring your wallet, and don't forget to tip your server extra for being so delightfully quirky. If you're looking for a unique culinary adventure, Indigenous Eats in Spokane is the place to be. Picture this, a restaurant so delicious, the staff happily packs up your one-of-everything order like a Native American feast. Let's start with the bison taco. Imagine a majestic bison, galloping across the plains of flavor, its tender meat nestled in a crispy fry bread taco like a chief in his tipi. And oh, that chicken sandwich. It's like a modern-day powwow, where juicy chicken dances with tangy sauce and tangy pickles. But wait, there's more. The dessert fry bread is straight from the cookbook of heaven. It's like a golden eagle soaring above the clouds of sugar and cinnamon, dipped in magical huckleberry sauce. And don't forget the soups. They're so hearty and flavorful, they'll make you want to build your own longhouse to feast in. Now, about the parking, let's just say it's like finding a buffalo in a haystack. But once you're inside, the ambience is as cozy as a teepee on a starry night. The seating is plentiful, so even if it's busy, you won't be cramped like a tomahawk in a quiver. The only downside. The portions are so generous, you'll need a war dance to digest them all. But hey, who needs calories when you're stuffing your face with this much Native American goodness? In conclusion, Indigenous Eats is a culinary victory that will make you want to do the rain dance for joy. So come on down, bring your taste buds, and prepare to experience the true spirit of Spokane cuisine. View Canola Kitchen, where the rabbit's still hopping, even if you find the odd bone. So, fellow foodies, let's talk about View Canola Kitchen. It's like the culinary equivalent of a second-hand store. You never know what you're gonna find, but it's always a wild ride. First off, the atmosphere. It's like a New Orleans fever dream, with twinkling lights, Mardi Gras beads, and a bartender who looks like he's straight out of a Hunter S. Thompson novel. I half expected him to offer me a hit of mescaline. Now, let's get down to the food. Oh, the food. It's like a culinary symphony, with notes of Cajun, Creole, and a dash of what the heck are they smoking in the kitchen. The signature cornbread is like crack cocaine for your taste buds. It's so addictive, you'll be ordering extra portions like a meth addict on a bender. Speaking of crack, the rabbit etouffee is a total mind-blower. The rabbit is as tender as a baby's bottom, and the sauce, well, let's just say it's so good, you'll be licking the bowl like a hungry cat. Just watch out for the occasional bone. It's like nature's little surprise party in your mouth. Now, the downside. The service can be slower than a sloth on Xanax. But hey, when the food is this amazing, who cares? Just sit back, sip your 15 cocktail, they're tasty, but a bit pricey, and soak in the ambience. And don't forget to bring a good book. Overall, View Canola Kitchen is a must-visit for foodies who love a good adventure. It's a place where the food is phenomenal, the atmosphere is electric, and the bones in your 2 feet are a reminder that even the best things in life have their quirks. The Barrel Steak Seafood House, where the tables dance and the steaks sizzle like a stand-up comic suite. Imagine a restaurant where the ambience is as cozy as a warm hug from a slightly tipsy uncle. As you step into the bar area, prepare for a sensory overload akin to a clown car bursting with laughter. The server, a culinary virtuoso with the grace of a gazelle, will greet you with a smile that could light up a nuclear submarine. Now, let's talk about the appetizers. Picture a shrimp cocktail so bountiful, it's like Neptune himself is hosting a pool party in your mouth. The Brussels sprouts and steak bites will make you dance like Michael Flatley after a few pints of Guinness. As for the dining room, it's like a symphony hall for food. The steaks, cooked to perfection, arrive on plates that could double as disco dance floors. The New York strip is a masterpiece, so tender it'll melt in your mouth like a comedian's joke that hits just right. But wait, there's more. The mud pie for dessert is a culinary masterpiece that will make you question whether you've died and gone to dessert heaven. Overall, the Barrel Steak Seafood House is a culinary oasis where the food is a stand-up routine and the atmosphere is more infectious than a comedian's laughter. So, grab your friends, put on your finest attire or sweatpants, who cares? And prepare for a night of foodie heaven that will have you rolling in the salsa, at least giggling into your perfectly cooked steak. House of Brunch, where the food's so good, it'll make you holler hallelujah. Alright, settle down folks, I got the scoop on House of Brunch. Get ready for a feast that'll have your taste buds singing like gospel choirs. First off, let's talk about that coffee. It's like liquid gold, my friends. I started with a simple drip, and I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting much. But then it hit my lips, and it was like being baptized in the nectar of the gods. Moving on to the main event, the chicken and waffles. Hold on to your hats, because this ain't no ordinary combo. The chicken was crispy like a stand-up comedian, and the waffle was fluffy like a giant marshmallow. Together, they created a symphony of flavors that'll make your insides do a happy dance. And get this, they had this Irish Benedict that was so good, it could make Street Patrick himself blush. The corned beef was cooked to perfection, with just the right amount of fat. The hollandaise sauce was so flavorful, it could make a choir sing like angels. Now, I know what you're thinking. All this deliciousness must come at a price. Well, let me tell you, it's a little pricey, but trust me, it's worth every penny. It's like going to see Dave Chappelle live, but instead of laughs, you get an explosion of flavor in your mouth. The ambience is on point too. It's bright and airy, with a touch of thumping club music that'll make you want to get up and shake a leg. It's the perfect spot for a couple's brunch or a meet-up with your home girls. And the service, oh my Lanta, the service. The staff was so quick and friendly, they made me feel like I was a VIP at a bank concert. So, there you have it, my fellow brunch enthusiasts. House of Brunch is a culinary haven where the food is so good, it'll make you forget all your troubles. Just be prepared to shell out a few extra bucks, but hey, you only brunch once, right? Yo, Spokane. If you're looking for a good time and some grub that'll make your taste buds sing like an ubby quartet, pull up to Four-Eyed Guys. This joint is like a comedy club for your stomach. First off, let's talk beer. They got a selection that's wider than my forehead after a basketball game. I'm talking IPAs, sours, lagers, and ciders that'll make you forget you're in the PNW. I tried a flight of 5 and it was like a symphony for my palate. Shout out to the Vienna Lager, that one was smooth as a jazz sax solo. Now let's move on to the food. I ordered the fig turkey sando, and it was like the Biggie Smalls of sandwiches. The turkey was so juicy, I could have sworn it was singing Mo Money Mo Problems. And that onion dip, man. It was like the dip equivalent of a stand-up comedian. The atmosphere is lit too. It's like someone took a plant nursery and turned it into a brewery. There's greenery everywhere, making you feel like you're chilling in a jungle with some beers. And the service. The bartender was cooler than a polar bear in a freezer. Super friendly, knowledgeable about the beer, and attentive as heck. You won't even have to flag them down, they'll be there before you even realize you need them. So if you're in Spokane and looking for a spot that's got great beer, dope food, and an atmosphere that's as funny as a Dave Chappelle special, head on over to Four-Eyed Guys. Just be prepared to laugh, drink, and eat until you need a food coma. Peace out. Folks, you've seen the world, but have you seen the culinary masterpiece that is Sorella in Spokane? It's like the restaurant equivalent of a Time Lord, fusing the best of Italy with the heart of the Pacific Northwest. First, let's talk ambience. It's a speakeasy with an open kitchen, so you can watch the Italian equivalent of culinary surgeons create meals that would make the Pope cry tears of marinara. Plus, velvet catches, because who doesn't want to sink into a velvety abyss while waiting for their bucatini ultramotritioner? Now, the food. Let's start with the meatballs. Folks, these aren't your average meatballs. They're like Italian angels singing opera in your mouth. They're arancini. They're like little gold nuggets of cheesy goodness, served with a sauce that would make Marco Polo abandon his quest for spices. The pasta, my friends, the pasta. It's made in-house, and you can taste it in every blissful bite. The limone pasta is like a lemon party in your mouth, with a chard that'll make you forget Popeye ever existed. And the vodka pasta. It's like a Russian dance on your taste buds, with a kick that'll lead you exclaiming Nietsky. But wait, there's more. The branzino is plated like a Picasso, with an arugula salad that'll make you question why you ever ate lettuce without arugula. And the chicken parmigiana. It's the culinary equivalent of an old friend, comforting yet surprising with its lack of saltines. The service. Impeccable. The owner, Lauren, is like the Italian fairy godmother of Sorella, making sure everything is just right. And the staff. They're like culinary cheerleaders, always ready to make sure your dining experience is a pastarific. So, dear reader, if you're looking for a restaurant that combines culinary excellence with a side of Italian charm, Sorella is your destination. Just remember, reservations are a must, unless you want to end up like a starving artist begging for leftovers in the alleyway behind the restaurant. And if you do visit, please give the meatballs a round of applause. They deserve it. Pull up a seat, my dares, and let me dish out the lowdown on Frank's Diner, the Spokane institution that makes a train wreck of your senses in a good way. Picture this, a 1906 Pullman train car, all polished and pretty, plopped smack in the middle of Spokane. Inside, it's a culinary circus, with locals and tourists alike chowing down like there's no tomorrow. Now about the wait times. Oh, honey, they're like a soap opera, long and dramatic. But fear not, child, because they serve up free coffee while you wait. It's like a morning telenovela, but with better caffeine and less angst. Once you're finally seated, either at the cozy bar or in a booth that looks like it's straight out of a time warp, prepare for a feast fit for a gourmand. The Hobo Scramble is a hobo-approved masterpiece, loaded with eggs, veggies, and a secret ingredient that makes you want to sing Home on the Range. But let's talk about the biscuits. Oh, the biscuits. They're like fluffy clouds of buttered heaven. So good, you'll be tempted to order a dozen to go. And if you're feeling extra sassy, add some of their homemade country gravy to your hash browns. It's like a party in your mouth, complete with tiny gravy cannons firing down your esophagus. The service is top-notch, with the staff as friendly as a choir of angels. Unless you're a food critic, then they might steal your socks. And if you're lucky, you'll catch a glimpse of a real-life train chugging past, reminding you that life's an adventure, just like eating at Frank's Diner. So next time you're in Spokane, darling, hop aboard this culinary train wreck. Just be prepared for a delicious ride that will leave you feeling full, happy, and wanting to write the next great American novel about a biscuit rebellion. On at it, my pretties. France's Restaurant, where you'll either have the best meal of your life or wonder if you're being pranked. Let's start with the good. The macaroni gratin with duck confit is like a symphony of flavors dancing on your tongue. The truffle fries are so decadent, you'll be wondering why you've never had fries flavored with actual French truffles before. And the cocktails. Holy moly, the smoked pineapple rum drink is like a vacation in a glass. Now, for the bad, the service can be hit or miss. One time, our server was so attentive, they were practically spoon-feeding us. Another time, we had to flag them down for everything, even water. And the pricing. Let's just say, it's not for the faint of wallet. But the real head-scratcher is the dinner menu. Some dishes are outstanding, like the steelhead bouillabaisse and the chocolate hazelnut terrine. Others, like the ribeye steak special, will make you wonder if you're being played a practical joke by Gordon Ramsay. My advice: stick to the brunch menu, where everything is uniformly delicious. Or take a risk on dinner and be prepared for both culinary heaven and kitchen nightmares. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Inland Pacific Kitchen, where the brunch is a bit slow, but the fried chicken biscuits are divine. Picture this: you're sitting in this swanky restaurant, all excited to dig into some brunch goodness. And for nothing. You wait 15 minutes for the server to grace you with their presence. But hey, who needs drinks anyway? But here's where it gets good. Once you finally order, the food arrives in a flash, like a lightning bolt of culinary delight. No kids or teens to bother you, just the soothing sound of adults chatting. If you're looking for a kid's menu, don't be silly. They don't have one. But don't worry, the pancakes are so thick and fluffy, you could share them with your whole family or just save them all for yourself. Speaking of pancakes, their tile stack is the stuff of legends. It's like a fluffy cloud that melts in your mouth. Your friend Mike might find it a tad too sweet, but hey, more for you. But let's not forget the star of the show, the fried chicken and biscuit. Just imagine biting into the juicy, crispy chicken, topped with a perfectly cooked egg, and a biscuit so flaky, it'll make you feel like you're eating a cloud. The biscuit is so good, even your husband won't be able to resist sneaking a bite. Oh, and the coleslaw. It's got this amazing sesame flavor that'll make you dance a little happy dance. Trust me, this meal is the definition of comfort food. But wait, there's more. The steak and eggs are to die for. Mike can tell the steak is not some frozen hunk of meat. It's fresh, juicy, and cooked to perfection. Overall, Inland Pacific Kitchen is a winner. The atmosphere is chill, the food is amazing, and the drinks are top-notch. Just be prepared for a slightly slow start at brunch. But hey, who needs brunch anyway when you can have fried chicken biscuits? Purgatory Craft Beer and Whiskey Bar, where the liquor flows like the river Styx. Picture this: you're sitting at Purgatory, surrounded by a sea of whiskey bottles that would make Noah weep. It's like a library for booze, complete with a library ladder. And the bartenders. They're like whiskey whisperers, guiding you through the labyrinth of libations with the wisdom of ancient Sumerian brewers. The food. Let's just say that if Satan was a chef, this is where he'd dine. The stew is so tender, you'll swear your taste buds are in heaven. The wings. They'll make the angels sing their praises. And the cheesecake. It's so rich and creamy, you'll feel like you're on a sugar-induced cloud. The atmosphere is like a speakeasy from the Roaring Twenties, but with better lighting and less sketchy characters. It's cozy, intimate, and perfect for a night of sipping and savoring. But be warned, my fellow mortals, this place is a vortex. Once you step inside, the whiskey will lure you in and refuse to let go. You'll find yourself ordering flight after flight, your wallet crying out for mercy. So, if you're looking for a heavenly experience with a touch of infernal temptation, then Purgatory Craft Beer and Whiskey Bar is your paradise. Just don't blame me if you wake up in the morning with a pounding headache and a newfound love for brown spirits. Wild Sage Bistro, a culinary adventure where your taste buds dance the hokey pokey. If you're looking for a night out that's equal parts fancy and just plain fun, then Wild Sage Bistro is your huckleberry. From the moment you step inside, you'll be greeted with a smile that's as warm as a freshly baked croissant. Now, let's talk about the food. It's like a symphony for your taste buds, each dish a harmonious blend of flavors and textures. I ordered the pear salad, and it was so good, I almost cried. The filet mignon was cooked to perfection, and the café affogato was the perfect ending to a perfect meal. And let's not forget the service. Mac, our server, was a delight. She was attentive, knowledgeable, and had a wicked sense of humor. She even gave us a free dessert which we promptly devoured. The atmosphere at Wild Sage is relaxed and inviting. It's the kind of place where you can dress up or dress down and still feel comfortable. Plus, they have a gluten-free menu so everyone can enjoy the culinary delights. Now, a word of warning, this place is popular, so be prepared to wait for a table. But trust me, it's worth it. Wild Sage Bistro is the kind of restaurant that will leave you with a smile on your face and a warm glow in your stomach. Just don't be surprised if you find yourself humming the hokey pokey on the way home. Elliot's, an urban kitchen where the waiters are faster than the Roadrunner if you're looking for a place where you can sit and wait for your food while your waiter runs a marathon. Elliot's is not the place for you. But if you're looking for delicious food, great service, and a touch of humor, you've found your new favorite spot. On my last visit, I ordered the green chili pork. I was expecting a hearty bowl of flavorful meat, but what I got was a bowl of green water with some tough, gamey nuggets floating around. It was like the pork had been lost in the kitchen, and they had just thrown some random meat in to make up for it. My wife ordered the chorizo green chili burrito, and she wasn't much happier. She said it had even less flavor than my pork, which is shocking considering it supposedly had chorizo in it. I guess the chorizo was hiding under a rock somewhere. But hey, at least our waiter was hilarious. He was so apologetic for the delay that he seemed to be doing backflips to make it up to us. He was like the human version of a juggling clown, except instead of juggling balls, he was juggling plates of food and drinks. And while the food may have been a bit of a letdown, the atmosphere was great. It's a cozy, rustic space with hilarious artwork on the walls. It's like the kind of place where you could bring your grandma and your hipstery friends, and they would both have a good time. So, if you're looking for a restaurant where the food is always on point and the service is impeccable, Elliot's is probably not the place for you. But if you're looking for a good laugh, some decent food, and a waiter who is faster than a bullet train, then Elliot's is your spot. Bobber. Oh Bobber. You've got me spinning like a shawarma on a stick. This place is a culinary masterpiece, with flavors that dance like Sorba the Greek on a sugar rush. I mean, I'm not just saying this cause I'm a big fan of togas and fake beards. This food is seriously good. I started with the hummus and tzatziki, which were like two naughty neighbors sharing a blanket on a cold night. The hummus was smooth, the tzatziki was zippy, and the pita bread was like a warm hug for my taste buds. Then came the chicken skewers with rice and Israeli salad. The chicken was so juicy, it could have starred in a Broadway musical. The rice was fluffy, the salad was fresh, and the whole thing was like a party in my mouth. But let's not forget the Turkish mac and cheese. This was like the Mona Lisa of mac and cheese. Creamy, rich, and with a touch of pistachio magic that made me want to cry tears of joy. It was like Willy Wonka had taken over a cheese factory. And to wash it all down, I had a cocktail that was so strong, it made my ancestors do a conga line. It was like sipping on liquid courage, except I didn't need the courage to jump out of a plane, just to order another round of food. Now, like any good comedian, I'm not above a little self-deprecating humor. So, here's the one negative: the portions were small. They were like miniature masterpieces, like eating a Picasso that was made with ants. But hey, it gave me an excuse to order more food, so I'm not really complaining. So, if you're looking for a Mediterranean adventure that will make you laugh, cry, and dance all at the same time, then Bobber is your place. Just remember, wear stretchy pants, because you're gonna need them for all the deliciousness you're about to devour. Y'all, if you ain't heard about Hangry's, you been sleeping under that Spokane River. These folks just opened a new joint on the north side, and let me tell you, it's like the second coming of In-N-Out, but with a whole lot more flair. The place is straight up immaculate, with more seating than the average comedy club. And don't you worry about parking, they got spots for all the single ladies and gentlemen, plus a designated zone for the biker kings. Now, let's talk about the food, y'all. I got the cheeseable burger, and it was like a party in my mouth. Cooked to perfection, with fresh toppings that made me forget about my last breakup. The fries were on point too, crispy and not greasy like a politician's smile. The staff was like a well-oiled machine, even when the place was packed. They kept my so topped off like Michael J. Fox's water bill, and they were so friendly, I felt like I had been invited to a family reunion. Now, I ain't gonna lie, there were a few hiccups. The milkshake was served in a metal cup instead of a glass, which made it look like a science experiment. And the sweet and savory breakfast sandwich had French toast that was so soggy, it could have starred in a SpongeBob SquarePants episode. But hey, everybody makes mistakes. And let's be real, it's still their soft opening. I'm gonna give 'em another shot in a few months. In the meantime, you gotta check out Henry's, y'all. It's the best new burger joint in Spokane since, well, ever. Buckle up, folks. Get ready for a culinary adventure at Casa Restaurant Tarfhouse, where food takes a hilarious spin. The entrance is like a scene from Alice in Wonderland. You whip out your phone and order from a magical QR code that transports you to a digital ordering abyss. But fear not. The friendly staff is there to guide you through the digital maze. Now, let's talk about the food. They serve up gourmet goodness in casual attire. Imagine a sophisticated burger joint, where the Mimi sandwich is like a sugary love song with its overly sweet sauce. But hey, if you're into that caramelized bliss, dive right in. Their red curry, on the other hand, is an explosion of spicy, sweet, crunchy, and savory flavors, like a disco party in your mouth. And for the grand finale, the hazelnut chocolate dream dessert is so irresistible that you'll forget to document it, like a midnight snack you devour before your partner catches you. But here's the catch, it's not for the budget conscious. Entrees are priced like a Broadway ticket, so prepare to pay a pretty penny for the culinary experience. But hey, it's worth it for a good laugh and a taste of gourmet madness.